All right. It's a Monday. But let me ask you something. If gratitude is the key, why are you still stuck? Oh, y'all, we gonna talk about it tonight. Why are you still frustrated, baby? Still unfulfilled, still praying for more, but living the same cycle? Welcome to the I Am Counter Skills podcast, where truth meets transformation. This is the space for real talk, real people, and relevant conversations. No gossip, just gems. Now, before we go any further, let me take a moment to shout out our sponsor. The Closet Experience Boutique is grateful, and I do mean grateful, for every one of its experiencers. And we invite you to become one too, because this isn't just fashion, it's an experience. Step into your confidence, elevate your style, and express your evolution through what you wear. Visit theclosetexperience.com and save 10% with code podcast. That's PODCAST. The Closet Experience Boutique. What's in your closet? I hope you all have been enjoying this Women's History Month series as it comes to a close tonight. But don't worry your little pretty selves out there, because baby, we gonna get into it tonight. As you know, March is Women's History Month. And all month long, we are honoring the brilliance, resilience, innovation, and impact of women. Not just the women we read about in history books, but the women making history right now. This month, I will be joined by dynamic, powerful, purpose-driven women who are joining me for conversations that are empowering, motivating, transformational. We're talking about leadership, legacy, faith, business, healing, growth, and what it really takes to show up as her, even when life tries to shrink you. Because around here, I don't just celebrate women, I amplify them. So get ready for bold conversations, authentic stories, and gems that will challenge you, stretch you, and inspire you. If you've been rocking with this series, I need you to drop a fire emoji in them comments right now. Go on and drop them. Go on and drop them for me. Yes. Because tonight's episode is titled Gratitude is Key, but what does it unlock? Because let's be honest, a lot of people said they're grateful, but their life hasn't changed. They're still stuck in the same mindset, the same habits, the same cycles. But the real question is your gratitude transforming you, or is it something you just say? And I know y'all looking and saying, who is that? Who is that sitting right here on the blue velvet couch tonight? You're about to find out. So stay with me, because before this episode is over, you're going to see gratitude completely different. And I do mean differently. Woo, yes, we about to get into it. Listen, Linda. Listen, Hunty. Ooh, like I said before, it's Women's History Month. And today's guest is not just a woman I admire. She is walking activation. A woman that doesn't just talk growth. She produces it. She doesn't just speak vision. She pushes you into it. She's an author, a motivator, a goal strategist, a prayer warrior, and a push partner for purpose. Her work doesn't just inspire you, it confronts you. She's the author of I Can and I Will, a reflective journal reminding people that healing starts with inner work. She is also the author of Gratitude is the Key, a jump start to developing an attitude of gratitude. A powerful reminder that gratitude isn't just something we say, it's something we live. Her newest release that I got to hear about, baby, and I know I'm jumping the gun. She was supposed to spill the beans, but that's her bestie. And I got to go on and just say it. My boo is on book number 3, baby, and it's titled Live Your Life, How to Live the Life of Your Dreams Now. Because you are not here for someday faith. You are here for right now obedience, baby. She's a proud alum of Tennessee State University. Yep, I said it. The Tennessee State University, where the motto is think, work, serve. She doesn't just represent it, she embodies it. But beyond the books, beyond the title, this is someone who sees your greatness before you do and refuses to let you stay small in it. And I don't just know her as a guest, I know her as my best friend, my sister, my prayer partner, and someone who has helped build this very platform, the I Am Qiana Scales podcast. She's been on the journey with me, and I appreciate her. Whoo, y'all. So I need everybody, and I do mean everybody, to start clapping it up in them comments in the chat. Put them hand clap emojis, Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, everywhere. I need y'all to clap it up, turn your value up, and lean in. This one right here, she's just not here to talk. Yeah, my bestie, she's here to confront you and me, because this conversation is about to shift something in you. Yeah, she's a shifter. She knows how to shift the atmosphere. Mm-hmm. Yes, baby. Y'all, help me welcome the unstoppable, the transformational, the purpose driven, my personal, and I do mean my personal cheerleader, and I'm going to let you have some too, and yours, Nikita Thomas, to the I Am Qiana Scales podcast. Ooh, look, you get the bracelets today.
Oh, thank you. Yes. Hey, listener land. I'm so glad to be here, and thank you. It feels so funny being on this side of the couch. Yes. I'm used to being behind the screen, so I'm doing 2 roles tonight. I'm a guest, but I'm going to keep checking my phone because I'm also still producing.
Yes,
so
she's still
you
producing.
See me looking down, it's because I'm checking the chat.
But we got a treat for you, baby. My bestie is here. Thelma and Louise.
That's right.
Yes, baby.
You ready to have the people?
You've been around me too long. Baby, you already know. You know we about to do it, honey. We finna help y'all. So let's start here.
All right.
Everybody says be grateful. You know, we've heard that all our life. You need to be grateful. But what does gratitude actually mean? And do you think people really understand it?
That's a good question. Can you hand me that?
So, here go my bestie's book. Y'all better get her books.
So I decided to start the book by addressing just that. And so that's why I wanted to see the book.
You gonna read us an answer?
Just one little blurb.
Okay, come on with one.
All right. So gratitude is the key to an abundant and prosperous life of peace, love, and so much more. Gratitude is the action. It is the action of showing that you are grateful. So that's kind of what it means. So
do you think people really understand?
A lot of people, they understand it to a little bit. Some, just simply saying thank you, or or saying I'm grateful, but it is so much more. It's showing with your actions and what you do to demonstrate your gratitude. And gratitude, once you start really being intentional and focusing on gratitude, it changes everything. It changes how you look at life and how you see the world around you.
So do you think people confuse sometimes gratitude with settling?
Oh no, because that's the opposite.
Yes, but I'm just saying, do you think people I know it is, but do you think people confuse it sometimes because they say they're grateful in a sense, but then they just settle for whatever?
Well, some people say they're grateful, but they don't really. I don't want to say they don't mean it, but they are settling, or if they're not trying to move forward. Now, if you're comfortable, some people are comfortable where they are and how everything is, or they've just accepted like this is how it's gonna be, this is how life is. Whereas others, they see more, they have that hunger and that urge to like want to do more and do more, so therefore they're always looking for other opportunities. And the more you show that you're grateful for something, the more opportunities God and the universe brings to you to be grateful for, the more doors open up. Whereas if you are always complaining, guess what? God hears that too, and the universe hears that too, and you're
Yeah.
gonna get more stuff to complain about. So it's all in kind of your mindset.
Because I was thinking a lot of times people treat gratitude is like a script. Like we just say, somebody says, or gives you something, you say thank you. Like, we was just trying,
Just going through the
something, you're going through
motions.
the motion. But to really tap in is what we're talking about tonight.
Right.
And that's what I want to get our audience to understand. It's more than just saying that somebody hands you something, your gratitude for getting something. You just say thank you. Oh, I'm grateful for that opportunity or whatever. We say it, but do we realize what that's rooted in? And
Right.
that's where I want to go tonight. So so let me ask you this. What's the difference between gratitude and performative gratitude? It's basically like what I was just saying, like we're going through the motions. And so can you kind of explain to us that difference?
I mean, so performative gratitude is, I mean, you, like you said, performing. You're just going through the
Mm-hmm.
motions. Whereas true gratitude, it is something you feel, and not only you feel, you
Mm-hmm.
act through it and go through the motions and really feel it. Like, say, like my morning routine.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could say you're grateful for life, but then how often do you really sit down, take your time, take deep breaths, and pray and be like, Lord, thank you that I just took that breath. Thank you that I'm breathing. Thank you I have the mobility of my limbs and I can move around. And really going deep into everything that you're really grateful and appreciative of versus just saying I'm grateful and then just keep it moving. Or you say you're grateful, but then you talk about, oh, Arthur got me today and I'm doing this and I'm doing that. Then are you really grateful if you in the next breath you complaining about stuff hurting or stuff not
Mm.
being right or
So have you ever had a season where you thought you were grateful, but you realized you really weren't?
ooh,
I mean, it doesn't have to be recent. You could, because I know you've matured since
right.
then.
That I thought I was grateful but I really wasn't. Oh, probably yeah, as growing up or as
Mm-hmm.
a you see it all the time sometimes with children. Like when you give them something, they may
Mm-hmm.
say thank you the next minute, and then they come back right back 2 seconds later, ask something else. You tell them no, then they pouting and complaining. You're like, but
Mm-hmm.
I just gave you that. Why
Pouting
So
and
yeah,
complaining.
mainly
Mm-hmm.
it would be more like when I was younger. Now I can't think of because this has just been a practice for me for so long. I can't think of a specific incident where I was other than like I said when I was younger or a teen and kind of
Mm-hmm.
spoiled and having those spoiled tendencies like tell them I'm grateful but then not using it or turn around and tell somebody thank you then turn around and give it to somebody else because you really didn't want it, you just told them you were thankful. So
Yes.
something like that.
So can gratitude actually be the reason that some people stay stuck? Because you kind of mentioned before, and I want to kind of expand on that, where we talking about we want to say that we're grateful for something, but like you said, you turn around and complaining. So can we explain to the listeners about how that mindset makes you stuck?
Yeah, it'll be it's deeper than just
Mm-hmm.
gratitude that'll have you stuck. It's just your mindset, period.
Mm-hmm.
And some of the things that you is what you focus on and what you think about. That's what you are.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're focusing on the good things and bringing good energy and love and peace, then
Mm-hmm.
that's what you generate more of. But if you're not, and like I said, always complaining, or like some people say, I always got that rest and be face, or
Mm-hmm.
having an attitude about something or being upset about something, then that might, or literally, like I said, complaining about
Mm-hmm.
something, or always something is always going wrong, or nothing is ever right, or if it ain't one thing, it's another. It's the mindset. It's more of the mindset shift
Mm-hmm.
versus than just simply looking at gratitude.
So with that mindset shift, what is happening internally inside of us when that's going on?
When you're not grateful or when you are.
Well, when you are, well, let's speak to both sides of it so they'll get a glimpse of both sides.
Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
let's start with not.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of times that just comes from like how we were
Mm-hmm.
raised. Sometimes that's what we were surrounded by, so that's all we know. Sometimes we've experienced things in life, whether it be from trauma
Mm-hmm.
or something traumatic happening, or growing up around certain people, or the company you keep. If you're
Oh,
around,
yes.
you're kind of like the company you keep. So if you're always around people that's always complaining and saying something is wrong, then that kind of becomes like who you are and the
Yeah.
things you
Mm-hmm.
focus on. What you focus on is what you talk about, what you do. So all of those kind of play a part in
Part
it.
in it.
Versus when you are around or in settings that are more positive and
Mm-hmm.
people are always showing love, being positive, seeing the bright side, talking about positive things, doing positive things, it starts to force you to kind of see more the positive in it. I mean, but you really have to be intentional and look for those things. And once you start doing it over a period of time, it does kind of become a habit.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not easy. It's work, especially if it's something you're not used to.
That makes sense. So why do you think it's so hard for people to stay in a place of gratitude when life isn't going the way they expected?
Cause life be life. Things happen. So
Mm-hmm.
you have to, once again, it goes back to that intentionality.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, something crazy may go on, but you still have to be intentional by focusing on, okay, yes, this may be a loss, but what was the lesson
Mm-hmm.
I learned in this loss? What is something that I gained from this situation? What is something I learned from this situation? Or what is, yes, this may look crazy in the grand scheme of things, but something good had to
Mm-hmm.
happen, or something that you learned from out of that situation that you can take with you, and it's not just all bad. You can't throw out the baby with the bathwater.
Oh, I like it. Can't throw out the baby with the bathwater. Because some of us, we just be wanting to throw it all. Just, baby, here you go. Just take it all. So that brings me to this point. How do we tell somebody or someone to be grateful when they're grieving or hurting? Because, we always say, well, look at the bright side, when people are going through, or be grateful that this didn't happen. It's.
So you have to be mindful
Mm-hmm.
when it's something situation like that.
Mm-hmm.
You can't just say, "Oh, well, at least this didn't happen to you, or at least that
Mm-hmm.
didn't happen to you." In that case, like when somebody is grieving in that aspect, because I've been through it,
Mm-hmm.
go through it, I'm grieving now because I just lost a student literally yesterday. Um, so in cases like that, I have to go through finding the positive. What are the things that I remember? How that child made me smile? What are the good things that happened?
Mm-hmm.
What are my good memories for that person? When somebody transitions and passes, I want to remember the things that I learned from that person or the moments that were created with that
Mm-hmm.
person and focus on those things. And know that yes, their spirit is still in the essence with you. They're not physically here, but that so I kind of tap into that and focus on that aspect of it. Instead of just the actual loss. And in cases like that, that's when things like journaling helps
Mm-hmm.
because you can, write to that person or, things like that.
Get your thoughts on
Yeah, to get
paper, to
that
get
out
that
and get
out.
out what you're
Mm-hmm.
feeling. So that kind of helps in the process.
As I was going to say that I believe that gratitude and pain can sit in the same space, if that makes sense. Like you can be thankful for what God is doing and still be honest about what hurts you.
Yeah, you
Mm-hmm.
always being having gratitude doesn't mean that you're not gonna hurt, you're not gonna experience anything. You're still gonna experience stuff, but it is how you see it and
Mm-hmm.
what you do about it. Yes, you can acknowledge the pain, but just don't stay there.
Stay there. Don't get stuck in that
Yeah, you
rut.
can't get stuck in it. You have to see now, yes, I'm dealing with this, but what
Mm-hmm.
can I do while I'm in this to help move me forward and move forward and not just stay stuck? Because that's what happens with a lot of people when they're grieving when a situation happens. They just get stuck in there and then they
Mm-hmm.
can't move forward. So finding other things to be grateful for and to show gratitude helps you to find things where you can see the positive. Yes, this may not have happened or
Mm-hmm.
this is not working, but what are the things that are still working around you? Who are the people you may have lost someone, but
Mm-hmm.
who are the people who are still around you that you can build a relationship with or continue to connect with to help and join and together y'all can move forward or help with the healing and moving forward process.
So then maybe it's not about telling someone to be grateful then. Maybe it's about um helping them find something to hold on to, like you just said, for the
Right.
healing process.
I'm not telling you
Yes.
you got to be grateful or
Yeah.
anything like
No,
that.
no, no.
What
I'm
I'm
just
saying
saying.
is,
No, I'm just saying that that's the takeaway from it.
yeah, the
Just
takeaway is
to find that healing spot.
to be
Mm-hmm.
reflective
Mm-hmm.
in within yourself. All of it is self work. That's the whole point of expansive you and the business that I'm starting is about personal growth. What are some things that you need to work on self to
Mm-hmm.
help grow yourself? So nobody can make you do anything. You do at the end of the day what you want to do because you're the only person you can control.
Mm-hmm.
But learning how to change your thought,
Mm-hmm.
change your mindset, to focus on better things and to move in a better, more positive direction that helps you to feel better, that helps you to be more productive and have a more abundant lifestyle.
Yes, I do agree with that. So, what did gratitude look like for you in one of your hardest seasons?
So the most recent one will be
Mm-hmm.
a couple of months ago when my dad passed away. So to wind and put it in perspective, so my mom passed when I was 14 years old of cancer, and so since then it's been me and my daddy since I was 14 years. Well, he's been there all my life, but like I said, when
That's the main.
my yeah, as my main caregiver, let's say, since I was 14. So it's been me and him, and he passed away back in May due to dementia. Well, anyway, he had dementia, but that's not what he passed away from. It was natural causes. But anyway, so that would be the most thing. So
Mm-hmm.
I really, during that whole process, um, I had to, one, I was grateful for the time I did have with him. Was
Mm-hmm.
he perfect? No, because the whole time we've had, issues and things we were having to deal with. For one, he was an alcoholic, a functioning alcoholic. Well, kind of, sort of. So he did enough to get to work, but then after that, it was still up to me, just from a 14-year-old, to be able to have to take care of everything. So so I was grateful and found, because of the lessons I learned doing all that. Yes, some people like, oh my goodness, I've been having to do since I was 14 years old. Yes, but the skills I gained
Mm-hmm.
doing that, like, I was able to do some stuff grown people now can't do, that I was taught from then
Early
on.
on.
So
Mm-hmm.
just the lessons I've learned, um, being able to pivot and learn how to function, where once he got dementia, and he, let's see, he had about 8 years, I would say, where his memory was kind of going in and out. So I really had to take care of him, per
Mm-hmm.
se. And so finding those, I was grateful just for the time I had with him. I was grateful for, like I said, everything I learned and was able to do, not only for him, but the things I learned taking care of him, I'm able to share with other families when they're telling me their loved one is dealing with dementia. Then I'm able to tell them resources that helped me,
Mm-hmm.
resources that helped him. I'm able to suggest places that really, and doctors that really, helped and took care of him. So it was a lot of things that I'm grateful for. Even though I was grieving, I was grateful because of how everything was structured. Side note: insurance,
Mm-hmm. Make sure you.
like having those things in place. So, because it's a lot when you're grieving the loss of a person, but then to have to deal with how we're gonna pay for the funeral, how we gonna do this. I mean, policy wasn't huge, but it was enough to have the funeral covered, so I didn't have to pay for it. We didn't have to do no GoFundMe. We didn't have to sell no fish plates. We didn't have to go around ask for money. Just having those things in place, I was grateful for that process, because it was easy. It wasn't no fighting between my siblings and I, because he had everything planned and laid out. Make your arrangements, people.
Yes.
Yes, no one wants to think about when they're not here, but it saves families, and people are not falling out over $20, $40 because of situations with
Mm-hmm.
money and stuff when somebody passes away, or who gonna get the plates, who gonna get the furniture in the house, and all that kind of stuff. Just have your stuff in order. So I was grateful for all that,
Mm-hmm.
because me and my siblings had time to really come together and be there for each other, and not be, fighting and stressing and stuff over minor stuff.
Right. Mm-hmm.
So it was so many things in that situation that I was still grateful for. I was grateful for the people and how everything went with organizing the service and how that went. And everything was able to flow and go smoothly, because sometimes when you lose somebody, like, all hell breaks loose in some families. So, and that wasn't the case with us. So, and I was able to share with my siblings, like, here, because like I said, I was his primary caregiver.
Mm-hmm.
Even though I have siblings, we were able to still talk and share, and and do certain things together, and it brought us closer together and helped our relationship. So
Hmm. I like that. Like,
It makes a
it
difference.
makes a difference, which is I know that because I've been on the, you've been around me, I've been on that end too, and it has made a world of difference when people have their stuff together. Then when we've had loss in our family, I don't come from that type of family where it's all that arguing. So I be looking at people like when they do, I be like, huh, do what? Like
Right.
I don't understand. And I'm not, trust me and believe, I'm not talking down about them,
Yeah, I'm
but
not
I don't
judging.
I'm not judged. I'm just saying I don't understand it because when we've had losses, it's never happened in my family. And I hope and pray to God every day that it remains that way, that there is no greed, none of that that comes between tearing us apart, because so far everybody has had their affairs in order. And I'm grateful, like you said, for that experience. Nobody wants to go through the death, but when you're going through that experience, it helps. And I want to talk about something. I'm going to share the season I was in. Um, I'm going to give y'all a little bit of my business. But there was a season, I try to share with y'all and be as transparent on here, y'all know, as much as I can. But I want to talk about a season that I felt like God had just forgotten about me. Out there in the chat, have y'all ever felt like God has just forgotten about you? Let me know. I want to hear from you. I want to see if I'm the only. Go ahead.
Oh, thank you for commenting in the chat. So, all right. First of all, hey everybody that's here.
Hey, y'all.
All right. So one comment. Hold on, I'm trying to go through everything. This is from Mia. She's like
Mm-hmm.
she's extremely grateful, even though she's currently in the hospital having bone marrow biopsy
Oh.
Wednesday
Mm-hmm.
to test for melanoma and
Mm-hmm.
leukemia. Please send up a prayer because God is still good, and we are praying for you. Yeah,
I'm sick of pray.
yeah,
Go.
we're gonna
Oh,
pray
baby,
right
we gonna
now.
pray right now. That's what the eye kind of scale spot is. Mia, come, look at me.
Okay.
We grabbing
All
hands
right.
and agreeing. We touching and agreeing over here. Go ahead.
All right. Hold on. Let me reach out
Cause
to
I told you this is my prayer
you.
warrior.
That's right.
She's reaching out. Let me put my hands out.
All right.
Go ahead.
Lord, thank you for life, health, strength, and wealth. Touch Mia right now and anyone else that's dealing with situations right now. We know there are people that are dealing with all kinds of situations. Touch her body, touch every test.
Yes.
And Lord, we know you're with her. We know that healing is here
Yes.
in the now, right now. We thank you for everybody that she's going to have contact with, and that it's going to be a positive experience with a positive outcome, and healing and everything is going to work out right now. It is so.
It is so.
In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen. Whoo, Mia. Our hearts and our
Yes,
prayers will be
our prayers
continuously
are
with
with you.
you. Yes.
And everything is going to work out, and you're going to have a testimony on the other side of this test, beautiful.
Yes.
And it's all going to work out.
Yes. But you got some more comments?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me scroll.
Go ahead.
See. Nope, I think that's it. Oh, Cameo saying hey.
Hey, Cameo.
Okay.
But yes, I just want to talk about my season where I felt like the God just forgot about me. I felt abandoned. And I know that's kind of hard for people to say. She felt like, yes, I go through stuff. I know I make it look all good. But that's why I like to be transparent with you all and show you all. But in that season, nothing looked like it was big and beautiful. It just like you were saying, something was always going on. Something was going wrong. Like I just couldn't catch a break. Y'all know those moments. Don't act like I know y'all ain't gonna let me act like I'm the only one. Talk to me in that chat where you feel like, God, I'm keep putting in the work. I'm doing this. I'm doing that. But I felt abandoned. And for a minute, that was messing with my grateful heart, my grateful spirit. I was gonna keep it real. I was like, I just felt like it didn't mean much what I was doing. I wasn't grateful anymore. You know how sometimes, and I'm gonna put it into this perspective. Like sometimes you have a job, you go to the job, but you really don't like the job. You're really grateful for it, but you just be like, oh, this getting on my nerves. Instead of really seeing the positive in something because they driving you raggedy and crazy. That's the kind of ungratefulness I'm talking about, where we let minor stuff come in between what God has blessed us with. So, I'm just keeping it real. It's happened to me. I know I'm not the only one, but I want to speak to that because a lot of times people thinking, oh, it's just me. No, baby, it happens to all of us. But I want to remind you that while all of that's going on, that you're still here and that you are enough. You just gotta push your way through, praise your way through. You got to stand in those promises of what God promised you. Don't let them people run you off their job, because you're obviously still there for a reason. You have to wake up every morning, like you were saying, with a grateful heart, a grateful spirit, and just do your best, because your best is going to outweigh and outshine all of that. You just got to know what to do, when to do it, and be grateful through it. Like, honey, what did um oh my goodness, I can't think of her name right now. Rest in peace, rest of soul. What she said, I'm catching hell.
Natalie.
Natalie Cole. Speaking of Natalie, baby, sometimes we are out here catching hell from life, from jobs, from relationships, from marriages, all of this stuff. But we have to still show up with a grateful mindset and a grateful heart and a grateful spirit.
And that goes to back to what I was saying with mindset.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, there are gonna be some moments where to us it seems like God is silent
Mm-hmm.
and still. And in those cases, those are the times where we do need to, one, sometimes it's something God's trying to show us,
Yes.
and we have to really be intentionally go within ourselves to kind of listen, to hear and see what God is trying to show us and say. Sometimes it's during that time that we need to focus on if something's really going wrong or not going right. Like, Lord, is it something I need to be doing? Is it something that I need to shift? I was at a women's group meeting like a few months ago, and out of it was like 15 of us there,
Mm-hmm.
like half of us were all dealing with situations at work where we were like, I'm ready to walk off my job
Mm-hmm.
because this situation's going on. So, and we were talking about how in seasons like that, like, what do we do? So some of the things that we can do are, one, really be reflective and see, like, what's going on with the job. Is it some of the job? Is it something telling us, spirit telling us, like, it is time to start getting ready to go? So start getting your stuff in order. Like, start getting that resume together. Start working on that dream that's in your head that you've been wanting to do, so you can start getting it up and generating so you can come away from this job. You're going through that uncomfortableness for a reason. You just have to determine what the reason is. And some of that reasoning that will come to you through prayer, meditation,
Mm-hmm.
and sometimes journaling, and just taking that time to silence your mind so you can hear. If you're just coming home, going straight to binge watching something on Netflix and then go to bed, wake up and going through the routine, when are you getting to you to really see, to make sure you're addressing what you want or need to do for you, to make sure you're pouring into you, because you pour out so much every day going to work. If you're a parent, taking care of your kids, and if you're in a church or volunteering somewhere, you're pouring out, doing all these things, but you've got to take some time to pour into you, because if not, you are going to have those empty situations where you just feel depleted and burned out, and then when stuff starts hitting you up, you don't have anything in you to come back
To reel you back in.
Yeah.
Because let me speak to this, that during that time when I felt abandoned, and like I said, I felt abandoned by God, and who really admits openly to that. But the one thing that I kept telling myself, and I kept hearing in my ear, I kept hearing a soft, like a whisper in my ear and in my spirit. And guess what it was saying? Be still and know that I am God. Woo, when I tell y'all.
And there's some times when we need to do that.
When you need to just,
because you don't know what's happening,
mm-hmm.
that you can't see yet.
Yes.
You just need to be still for a minute and let God be God.
Mm-hmm.
And then later down, you'll find out, oh, that's the reason why
Yes.
this was delayed, or that's the reason why, this happened.
Because God will shake some stuff up in your life, baby. Mm-hmm. He'll get to shaking you up like some
God
chicken.
sees some things that we don't see, and hears some conversations that we don't hear.
Yes. Because, baby, he's going to block them for you. Mm-hmm. I call him my blocker. When I need something blocked, he going to intercede on my behalf. Yes, you know how people, we do that little cute, God don't play about me. But he really don't play about us. But guess what?
But you also
You don't
got to
have,
be like that about yourself
yes. Why
too.
was I just
You
about to say
can't play
that?
about you.
You can't play about you. You can't be in the streets doing any and everything that you want to do and expect him just to give you favor, grace, and mercy. Because, baby, it's not going to work like that. I want to talk about this real quick. So, do you think that gratitude is just a feeling, or is it discipline? Or can it be both? Is it just something we feel, or is that discipline?
Um, I mean, I guess it could be a little bit of both. To me, it to now to generate the attitude of
Mm-hmm.
gratitude, it does take some discipline because you have to consciously
Yes.
focus on the positive and the things you're grateful for and breaking it down like that. So, in that aspect, yes. But once you start,
Mm-hmm.
it kind of opens up your heart and mind more where things just start to flow and like you start seeing so many other things to be grateful for and other things come to you
Mm-hmm.
to be grateful for, so it kind of works
What goes
together.
together? That's what I was gonna say. Because you really have to have first the attitude of gratitude, but then you have to have that discipline, like you was talking
You
about.
have to have the
Mm-hmm.
discipline to develop the
Attitude
attitude
of
of
gratitude.
gratitude
Mm-hmm.
because it doesn't come naturally just to be always be, oh, I'm so thankful for this, I'm so thankful for
Mm-hmm.
that. It takes like once you start focusing on it, then it is kind of second nature, but it takes time. That was one of the reasons why in the book why I made it a 30-day journal, because it takes 21 days to create a
A
habit.
habit. Mm-hmm.
And so if it's not a habit for you to be grateful or to be positive and things like that, you have to intentionally focus on it each day, um, to make it a habit and to make it where it is second nature to you.
So let's go a little bit deeper. Let's talk about what gratitude actually unlocks. Does gratitude unlock clarity? Does it unlock peace? Does it unlock opportunities, alignment? Let's
It
talk
unlocks
about
all
that.
of that
Mm-hmm.
because once again, it goes back to what I said in the beginning. It goes back to your mindset. Everything begins and ends with what's right here in your mind. How you see
Mm-hmm.
yourself, how you feel about yourself, how you see others. All of this starts right here. This is the only thing we can
Mm-hmm.
control. So it all happens there. Once you start getting in the habit or doing those things and making those shifts and changes, that's kind of where you see the change. And that's where the abundance
Mm-hmm.
and the peace comes in, because what you start noticing and focusing on, that's what you start receiving.
Mm-hmm.
So it all starts in what is it that you want, and for each person it's different. Some people, some people they want the money.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care about anything else. But as you notice, we see on TV all the time with all these celebrities, they got money, but they don't have peace.
Peace.
So
Mm-hmm.
they run around here looking crazy or doing crazy stuff. Some people just want joy because, or health,
Mm-hmm.
or it's different for everybody. I mean, some people want it all, so you have to do kind of what
What
it
works for
takes
you? Mm-hmm.
and what works for you. It's a personalized thing for each person. It's not no one cookie cutter thing. If I do this, it's gonna unlock it. Everybody's different. Everybody experiences are different,
Right.
so it makes a difference.
So, what role does faith play into all of this?
Once again, it depends on the person and what that person believes. So if you believe in God and have a relationship, if you are if that's what you focus on and you study now, and that's for different people. It doesn't matter what your religion is, what you consider to be God. It makes a difference. It's all that person, because we see it all the time for some of the people that go to church. It's some people that go to church and then they're from the 7 o'clock service to the 12:15 service, and as soon as they get home at 2, they cussing everybody out and acting a fool. So it depends on your own personal relationship with God. You can, I mean, some people have a great relationship with God and they don't go to church,
Mm-hmm.
and they still can hear from God and have their own relationship. So it's what you put into it, like anything else.
So, in your book, can you just point out, I guess, like three practical reasons that they could start doing tonight, or starting tonight or tomorrow?
Three practical.
for gratitude, to focus on gratitude.
Oh, like
Mm-hmm.
things to be
Be
grateful
grateful.
for.
Like, what can they do to just be like, get started now? Because they gonna
Oh,
go get the book, but just mm-hmm.
so one thing, I mean, I don't even have to get the book to do it, is when you first wake up in the morning, before you, as soon as you turn off the alarm, if you use an alarm or whatever, is as soon as you open your eyes, just start right there and just saying, you know, thank you, God, for waking me up. Thank you for this breath. Thank you that I have life, health, and strength and can move my body. Starting your day with gratitude. What are the things you're grateful for right then and there? Throughout the day, when things come about, showing your gratitude.
Mm-hmm.
Before you, when you get in the bed at night, and this is and having these set routines, a set routine in the morning from when you get up and what you do to get your day started right, to pour into you, and a set routine at night. When you finish, take your time, thankful. Oh, what is something good that happened today?
Mm-hmm.
Be show gratitude for that. What is something that may not have went well today, but I can improve on it tomorrow, or with this, I can communicate this better to that person tomorrow, so we don't have this same issue
Mm-hmm.
or incident. Just being reflective of, what are some things that went well, what is something I can work on, just so you could go to sleep in peace without all this stuff going around in your mind, keeping you from resting. So those are the main things: having that good morning routine, night routine, and then throughout the day, just finding opportunities to find some beauty outside or beauty in the world and something to be grateful, because it is a lot of craziness going on. But having time to tune into you and inward is, like I said, it's all about inward, because inward determines kind of your
Outward comes
outward.
outward.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to just add another little layer to that. Once you have figured that out for yourself, if you have a family, whether it's a boyfriend, husband, kids, I think you should all incorporate that and let it become a family routine. I think that would help a lot, because that teaches, if you, especially with, well, you can do it with teenage kids, don't get me wrong, but I think once you start at a young age, it becomes a routine and a habit of life, and your kids become more in tune with themselves, and that outward, it projects outward into the world of positivity is the way I look at it.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
one thing I do with my kids, even though
Mm-hmm.
I got, well, a teenager now, boy, who that teenager, and then grown kids, having time where we talk about, I call it the roses and thorn activity,
Okay.
where we talk about what are some things that, when I check with them, since my grown kids, I don't see them all the time. Well, I see them all the time, but we don't get to really sit and talk.
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are some good things that went well this week? The roses. What are some thorns? What are some things that were like, this week? But we can kind of talk through,
Mm-hmm.
and kind of brainstorm about if needed, or sometimes they, just to make sure they're being heard, having those opportunities, because everybody wants to be seen,
Yes.
everybody wants to be heard. So having those opportunities, um, to talk,
Yes.
and to share and hear, and from somebody to see you and hear you.
And I'm gonna definitely say I agree with that, because we don't do enough. I'm a communicator, and I feel like we don't
Yes,
do
you
enough. Did you just say
are. I
yes?
say yes, you are.
I am. I like to communicate and make sure, and I communicate effectively, and that's the key.
That yeah.
And that is key. I'm not just out here talking. I'm communicating effectively.
I'm glad you brought that up, because
Yes.
that is so important, to be an effective communicator. We, not saying you got to be perfect,
Mm-hmm.
but at least, like, try to talk where somebody can hear you without hearing the attitude or the other stuff with it. Because when the attitude and is all that with it,
Rah, rah.
you get shut down, and people start, they don't listen.
They don't
Whereas if you can clearly communicate what you're trying to say first, then you can talk through if it's a situation or what's going
or
on.
if it's not a situation. Yes, that is good. Got some more comments?
Hey, Erica. Oh yeah, she was just saying come through with the roses and thorn family check-in.
Yes.
Yeah,
them
that's
check-ins
been
are
real. I
necessary.
even have to do it with my husband, y'all. Like every day, that's one of the first things when I see him. Like, hey, how was your day? What went well today? What are some things? And that's another thing for those in relationships, whoever you're in a relationship with, is having that time to check in with your mate and say, hey, how are you? What's doing good? Because we all, well, for anybody that works, entrepreneur, whatever, we get hit with stuff from outside of the house.
Yes.
And so having to come back in and to be able to talk and decompress without dealing with unnecessary extraness, it makes a difference in your relationship. But we'll talk more about relationships another day.
Yeah, we'll definitely do that. We are, I love the relationship conversation here and there. But no, seriously, we do have to have those check-ins. They're important. But this life is heavy. We deal with a whole lot of stuff. We getting punched out here like Mike Tyson's punch out. And
that's why it's important to pour back into you. And there's so many ways you do it. And you can do it. It doesn't have to be where you, even though I like a good man in pet, well, not man, I do more petties and a massage. Hey, Erica. I do that every month. But still, even if you don't have money, there's things you could do to you to do for yourself to pour into you. Whether it's going on a walk, whether it's journaling, whether it is drawing or doing something that feeds you. If you're a creative, writing down your ideas, drawing, creating work. If you know you got a book inside of you, start working on it. I am doing those kind of things.
Don't tell the people.
I ain't telling the people. All I did was turn my head. I thought you were saying something.
So now you're becoming a storyteller. You just said you just. Now, y'all, I got something else coming. In the chat, if you've been rocking with me and you've purchased The Ultimate Betrayal, my first novel, let me know in the chat. Who remembers The Ultimate Betrayal? Let me know in the chat.
I got that.
You got that? Yes. And of course, I got my bestie books, and y'all need to go get them. And what she was saying, you need to journal and all that. You can get these books right here. And we're going to tell you how to get them
on Amazon. And book 3, Live Your Life, is available. The actual paper copies, they're available. Just my copy didn't get here yet. It'll be here sometime. It comes next week. But it's available too. And in that particular book, it is actual practical tools that I've used to help me. I'm not saying I'm a guru or anything like that. No. These are tools that have helped me deal with processing my grief. Setting my goals and pointing into, because so many years I was that mom that I was a mom. I got up, got kids ready, got to school, went to work, came home. I went to school, kids did homework, went to bed, and then had that same routine every day until COVID. And I was like, I was burnt out. And I was like, wait a minute, what am I doing for me? And that's when this one came about. Because I needed that time to really pour into me and figure out who I am besides being a mother, besides being a wife, besides being a teacher. Who am I? What are the things I like to do?
Okay, in the chat, tell us who you are. We just want to know, who are you? How do you define yourself? That's a good place to start. How do people define themselves?
Yep, and that's kind of what these journal prompts are. Are you really getting to you and kind of how you feel and processing some stuff? What are some conversations that you wanted to have with somebody that you couldn't, but you need to kind of process it and get that out so you can heal, so you can move forward and get unstuck. So that's kind of what these are about. And thank you, Erica, for the comment.
What's your comment? What she say?
She just said my journaling books are good, are fire.
Okay, y'all get you. They are, baby. Get you one. It'll get your whole life together, baby. Yes.
And these are prompts that I literally did myself, and these are ones that helped me. So that's why. Because a lot of times we say journaling, but if you don't know where to start, that's why I like doing my journaling books with prompts, something to kind of start you off. Because if you just get a blank book, sometimes you get stuck like, what am I going to write about? What am I journaling about? Whereas in my books, I kind of give you ideas of, here's the thought, focus on it, now write about it, just to kind of get you started. And then from there, if you want to, start getting you a blank journal. And in the newest book, I do suggest you get a blank journal, because some of the activities I get you to do, you're going to have to write about in addition to doing some of the worksheets that are in it.
Okay. Yes, I can't wait to get that one too. Baby, these things will change your life, baby. It'll have you. Y'all know I'm always talking about self-reflection.
To get you to focus on
baby,
you.
You start focusing on you, you'll be like, wait a minute. Okay, yes. She'll have you bringing out all your feelings. But it's a good thing, because it's going to help you deal with the stuff that you didn't know you was internalizing.
And that was holding you back.
Yes, that was holding you back. Now, since we're talking about books, If you could co-write a book with any woman, living or deceased, who would it be and why? And let's take it a little deeper. What would the title be?
Mm.
And lastly, I'm going to ask, who would write the foreword and why would you choose them?
Ooh,
I made you think this.
that was a
Yeah.
loaded
I'm
question,
going
honey.
to ask you one at a time. I know. Let me see what I
Okay.
remember what I asked you. So if you could co-write a book with any woman, living or deceased, who would it be?
I would probably say Oprah.
Okay, Oprah.
Just because to me,
Mm-hmm.
she was it's kind of the blueprint of it doesn't matter where you came from in the circumstance, you can still make a life for
Mm-hmm.
yourself and live the life of your dreams and do great things.
I
The
like it.
forward would be from Michelle Obama,
Okay, Michelle
because
Obama.
Shell will get you right. She's
Mm-hmm.
um just because I've read some of her books,
Mm-hmm.
just but how she speaks,
Yes.
and also her life itself too, of how she started out growing up and then how she made it and made it to the highest
Office.
office,
Mm-hmm.
and did it with grace and elegance, and how she raised her kids, I mean, and dealing with a husband that's also busy and doing, and just their relationship, it's so many things. So that's who the book would be. The
The title.
title
Mm-hmm.
would be um let's see, it would be something about all things are possible,
All things are possible. I like that. All things are possible.
because with God all
All
things
things
are
are
possible,
possible. Mm-hmm.
and they're living proof of it, and I am too.
Yes. So, what would you say to a person right now who feels stuck, and even though they're trying to be grateful through it all?
um so if you feel like you're stuck, start from the basics. Literally, that's kind of why I started. Start with one thing at a time,
Mm-hmm.
break it piece by piece of, yes, a lot of things may be crazy, but that's what's one thing I could be grateful for right now and show gratitude for. What is one thing that I can, even if you're just taking it moment by moment, trying
Mm-hmm.
to move forward, what is one thing I can do right now for me? Whether, and it may be something just as small as, let me get out this moo and put some clothes on and just walk
Mm-hmm.
around the house and feel good.
Yeah.
It could be, you know, something as little as just changing your clothes, going out to the store and actually, and y'all know me, I don't want makeup, putting on some lipstick or something.
Mm-hmm.
And just say, let me just let these lips pop one good time and see, you know what I'm
Come
saying?
on,
Something to
lipstick.
make you, something to do, something to you to make you feel good.
Mm-hmm.
And when you take one step and see how it makes you feel, then that give you, start getting you the momentum to take another step and to keep moving forward and keep moving forward. But you just have to take one step at a time and focus on one thing at a time. And then once you do that, then try it again. And
Mm-hmm.
then each time just try a little bit more. Oh, yesterday I said I was grateful for one thing. Oh, today I got two.
Mm-hmm.
And see, and then hopefully Angela Mitchell Hill, shout out to Angela,
Hey, Angela girl.
she has something called Champion Your Day, and in it, she every day she suggests that you journal about 25 things you're grateful for each day. So hopefully you can get to the point where you can get up early in the morning and write down, oh, this is 25 things I'm grateful for right now for this day.
Mm-hmm.
um and then so you can eventually get to a level like that.
That makes sense.
So just start off one thing at a time.
Yeah, one day at a time. We have to be grateful for just one day, and that's all that matters. So before we close, I want to ask you this. What is one thing you want every person watching to walk away with understanding about gratitude?
It all begins with you. You are the key to it all. And what you put into it is what you are going to get out.
Yeah, well said. You put nothing in it, you're going to get nothing
And
out
that
of
goes
it.
with
Mm-hmm.
anything. It could be gratitude. It could be about your life in general. It all starts with you.
Mm-hmm. Most
So
definitely.
take the time to deal with you. Look, I'm always with you about the mic, and I done hit this mic 50 times. Till I ain't used to this, y'all. Anyway.
And I will say this, if you don't know where to start, I know she gave you a practical answer, but I want to give you another one. How about finding you somebody like my bestie? Find you that good Judy, good girlfriend, a good person you can lean on, and that's not going to run tell your business, any of that, but somebody that you can sit down with, go over your ideas and just say, because I'm going
Well,
to keep.
since you brought that up, boo, I wasn't gonna drop this exclusive, but that is coming. If that's something you're looking forward to, if you feel like you're stuck and it's somebody, now if you got some major trauma stuff, I'm not a therapist, go to therapy, get some help. But if it's something where you just want to talk to somebody and need to kind of help flush out your ideas, that is coming soon, real soon. So be on the lookout for Expansive You Creative Consulting with me, where I will have
Mhm.
sessions with you where we can kind of talk through and work through some of those ideas or things that you have in here in your heart and you want to get that vision out and
Mhm.
kind of put it out there for the world.
Or you can always just tune over here to the I Am Counter Skills podcast, because, baby, I'm definitely here to help the people help the people.
Oh, we always dropping
Yes.
gems over here,
Yes, we
but
always dropping gems.
if you
And
need
then,
something
yes.
personalized,
And then most of the times, like, yeah, we do get people outside of here to reach out, and baby, we're thankful for y'all. But I'm gonna send you on her way because she's coming up with her consulting. But I don't mind answering anything if I can be a help to you,
right.
because that's what we're here for, to reach one, teach one, and lift each other up.
So keep
Mm-hmm.
doing, and that's another
Mm-hmm.
way to point to yourself is platforms like this,
Yes.
looking at things like this where you can really point to you and gain um, the gems you need to
Mm-hmm.
help push you forward. And these kind of things is what help you get unstuck.
Yes. Yes. And I want to hear from y'all in the comments. If we are dropping the gems and any of these gems are helping you from maybe this episode prior, let us know about them. We want to hear from you. You got any other comments before I just want to see when I
Yeah.
like to talk to the people.
Okay. Thank you, Erica, for the suggestion to get my book. One step at a time, and you'll find your way. It's a song my son, Lucius used to sing when he was facing challenges. You know that song went through my head right a few minutes ago too.
What
And I
song is? I'm sorry, I didn't hear.
the one step at a time.
Oh, one step at a time. I didn't hear what you said.
Yep. So those are comments.
Okay, just want to make sure
Hold
we
on, let
didn't
me
miss
make sure I
anybody
don't miss
tonight.
anything. Okay. Yeah.
Because y'all know we on this end producing and giving you an
Right. I was
episode.
like, I'm
Baby, but we going to get it done.
trying to
See,
multitask.
see that
over
this
here.
gives you. Let's talk about this right here. You see how we
Now
didn't
we all
say,
gonna be mindful of y'all time. Though we ain't gonna keep.
yeah, we ain't gonna keep you too much long, but they need to see this, because I could have easily gave up today and said, oh, I don't have a producer, nobody to work behind the scenes, and we didn't quite get started at 7 o'clock, but I didn't throw my hands up in the air and just give up. We had to sit in here, get it right, because I do pride myself on giving you quality content, and I'm not gonna walk away, even though it was kind of frustrating behind the scenes because she's having to come over this side and we have to do some technical stuff before we go on. Right. But that's another thing, that gratitude and just thinking positive, because I could have said, oh, well, I'm just gonna type on there, show canceled. That would have been the easy way. Mm-hmm. But problem solving is coming with that gratitude. That just led into that. I just had to get that out. Sometimes gratitude will lead you to problem solving.
And when challenges come about, when you take that one step or try to push your way through it, there's another thing to be grateful for, because you've done something that you normally wouldn't do, or you can see your growth and your progress, which I'm proud of you, because we've come a long way. We just gonna say that. We ain't gonna.
No, we're gonna say what you don't say.
Because any other time you would have been like, forget this, not do this. I gave up on this. I done quit this. Now let's do this.
Oh wait,
If
baby.
y'all know Qiana, y'all
Baby, I
know
used
what
to
I'm
be like,
talking about.
forget this, quit this, let's start something. But no.
But she's been persevering. Like we're up well over 100 episodes.
Yeah, we
Ooh,
stopped
probably about
counting. We
150.
probably
We stopped counting.
160, probably at
And
200.
you've seen our
Yes,
growth
you've
and our
seen our
progression. So
growth.
thank you for supporting. Still go
Yes.
back and check out those other episodes because they were still we've been dropping gems over here.
Yes, always dropping gems, and we encourage you to go over. If you haven't already, please do us a favor and go subscribe to the YouTube. When you get off this live, please
Yes.
go over to YouTube. I am Qiana Scales, QIANASCALES. If you just put in my
I'm
name,
gonna need
it'll.
you to spell that slow.
Oh, sorry.
Sorry, producer
Q
again.
QIANASCALES. Y'all see it here. Pull that in and please follow us. And then if you go back through all the episodes, you will see the evolution. Because, baby, it's plenty of times that I wanted to stop. But guess what? I've talked about it before, but when you're in your purpose and your why, you can't stop. But just go back.
Say that again.
When you're in your purpose and your why, you can't stop.
And even though a delay may come out, it is not a denial.
Mm-hmm.
That just means it may be something you have to tweak or change. We've had to tweak plenty of times.
Yes.
But it continues to evolve and grow. And so just be encouraged that just because it's a delay, it is not a denial. Keep working on it, keep persevering.
And I'm going to say this. And not only do you need a partner to encourage you, you need to learn how to encourage yourself, how to lay hands on you. Like, baby, I know how to lay hands on myself.
That's right.
Baby, when I say I know how to just say when nobody is there in the midnight hour, when you really can't call anybody, you got to learn. And I always say this, and what do I say? Speak those things as if they are so, and place your hand on you and speak praises over yourself.
That's in each one of those books of the activity where you're focusing on you and speaking to yourself in the present. I am. I am
Qiana Scales. Not
I will. I am, because you are doing it now.
Yes. You want to always. Because I used to always be guilty of, well, I'm trying. And then I was like, somebody had to remind me that, girl, you not trying. You out here doing. So I had to learn how to change
all the time.
I have to change. So I had to learn how to change what I was speaking. That's because right. you do start off with, because you do start off. Let's keep it 100. You do start off with, I'm trying, I'm doing, because you're just now getting into something. But like she said, we over 100 some episodes. Here might be 200 at this one. I don't know.
But that's a part of speaking things as though they were. Yes. That means saying you are doing it.
And I kept saying it, and I was like, we can't let one monkey stop a show. You got to learn to keep going. But I want to say thank you so much, Keita. Thank you for joining me. It has been an honor having you. Now, she's been on this side. It's just been a minute since she's been on this side. A while. So if you do go back to some episodes, you will see her on some. And I just want to say thank you for your vulnerability, your wisdom, and pouring so intentionally into this space tonight.
Thank you all for taking out the time.
Yes, this wasn't just a conversation. It's basically a reset for some people. Mm-hmm. And it's needed. It was healing. For somebody's going to find healing in it. And all in all.
Or the confirmation you need to go on and write their vision down.
But more importantly.
And work through these books so you can get it out there and get it started.
But more importantly, what we always come over here to do is transform lives.
That's
so
the purpose.
Thank you.
That's the purpose.
Thank you for being here, for showing up for your girl. Now, before I close this out, tell the people where they can find your books.
All right, my books are on Amazon.
Oh,
you got
go ahead. You got it closer. Okay, wait, hold on. We gotta take her.
So my books are on Amazon. I Can and I Will, a reflective journal. Hold on, y'all. Like I said, I'm producing.
Okay.
All right.
There we go.
I Can and I Will, a reflective journal. Available on Amazon. Or you could just put in my name and all three will come up. Mm-hmm. Gratitude is the Key, a jump start to developing an attitude of gratitude. Available on Amazon. And Live Your Life, how to live the life of your dreams now, is also available on Amazon. My goal, because I'm working on stuff still too. I told you it's a personal thing. I'm not a guru, so I'm working on it. I'm working on the website, and on the website will also be links. You get to this. Plus, the website will be up when it's time to start the more of the consulting where you can come in and schedule consulting sessions, and also other things that are in the works, which I will share later.
Yes. Oh, and I can't.
Oh, did you ask the websites? Okay, so
Uh-huh.
that was the websites for the books. If you want to follow me, I'm getting better with social media, y'all. Y'all pray for me. Um, I am Nikita Brown Thomas on Facebook. I'm also Expansive You on Facebook. And on Instagram, I'm Expansive You, the number one on Instagram. Now TikTok, I'm sorry, I'm not on TikTok. Look, it's I'll work on it. I'm gonna try to do better.
So, y'all, if this episode has blessed you, make sure you tap in to all of our sites. Purchase your books on Amazon, baby, because
Hey,
they're
Miss
out there.
McKinney.
They are out there. So please purchase your books. Please go out there. Make her a number one seller on Amazon. Sell her out. We're speaking number one. Go get all of these books. Get one for you. Your matter of fact, Easter coming up. Put these in people's Easter baskets. I can't even get out. Grown folks, give your grown friends some Easter basket gifts and give them these books.
I have my loctician. She did it for all her sisters and gave them to them as Christmas presents before when I did
Christmas
the
presents, Easter
presents.
everything.
We can do a small group session. Get with me. We can sketch something and put something together. So yeah.
Yes, and before we get into this real talk, I once again have to shout out our sponsor. The Closet Experience Boutique is grateful for every one of its experiences, and we're inviting you to become one too. Step into the experience, elevate your style, and save 10% with code PODCAST. That's PODCAST. The Closet Experience Boutique. What's in your closet? Real talk. This entire conversation reminded us that gratitude isn't just something we say, it's something that sustains us. There are reasons where gratitude won't look like a celebration, it will look like survival. It will look like, God, thank you for getting me through that. You know what I'm talking about? It'll be like, God, thank you for getting me through that. Sometimes you just gotta thank God because you know you was in some mess. And what we learned in this episode is that being grateful doesn't mean your life is perfect. It means you're still present, you're still breathing, you still have life in you. Gratitude is not the denial of pain, it's the decision not to let the pain have the final say or the final word. And maybe, just maybe, the real shift from this episode is gratitude doesn't just help you cope. It unlocks peace, as we talked about. It unlocks perspective. It strengthens us through its unlocking when we didn't even know we had it in us. It's going to do that for you. Gratitude isn't about having that perfect life. So get that on out your mind. It's about recognizing that even in the middle of all of this that we have going on, you're still covered by the grace of God. You're still standing. He's still giving you air in your lungs. So let's keep this conversation going. Let's keep helping the people help the people. Be sure to like, comment, share, subscribe to the I Am Qiana Scales YouTube channel for more real talk, real people, and relevant conversations. No gossip, just gems. This isn't just a podcast. It's a whole movement, baby. A safe space, a healing zone, and I want you in the room every single time I go live. So make sure you go out there and subscribe. See y'all next week. See you next week. Hey, thank y'all for tuning in.
Y'all have a great week.
Yes, have a great week. The I Am Qiana Scales podcast.